Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's sermon prep. And this coming weekend, we'll be celebrating Palm Sunday, also called Passion Sunday, the last Sunday of Lent. Believe it or not, those 40 days are almost over. Our time of preparation is slowly reaching its fulfillment. Whatever we've been preparing for, which is the coming of Jesus, well, at least the preparation for his death and his resurrection, they are coming to fruition. And as we enter into this Palm Sunday or this Passion Sunday, it ushers us into the most holiest week of the year, where our salvation is going to come forth, where Jesus will break the bonds of death, the corruption of sin and death, and he's going to rise up to new life. Now, as you know, Palm Sunday every year is a different celebration from all the normal masses that we have. So we're going to have our gospel outside for the blessing of the palms, and we'll be reading from the Gospel according to Luke, chapter 19, verses 28 to 40, where we'll be looking at that account of Jesus himself entering Jerusalem on that week, and people singing their hosannas to him. And we'll be mimicking the same thing in actual fact, welcoming Jesus as our King, our Messiah, our Liberator. But we don't just look at him as the people of Jerusalem looked at him at that time, but we know that he's a different kind of king, ushering in a different kind of kingdom with a different kind of power. So that's going to be our gospel reading, which is Luke chapter 19, verses 28 to 40. And then after that, we'll have a short reflection or homily as we are outside after the blessing of the palms, we make our entrance into the church. And then we're going to have our first reading, which is from the prophet Isaiah, chapter 50, verses 4 to 7. It's a somber reading. It's one of the songs of the suffering servants that we find in the book of the prophet Isaiah, where the suffering servant, who we would later see as a representation of Jesus, would speak about how he did not hide his cheeks from those who beat him and from those who pulled him by the beard. As we go into this week, especially on Good Friday, these words will ring true. We'll see the suffering of Jesus, the suffering of a just man. Our responsorial psalm is Psalm 21. My God, why have you forsaken me? When Jesus says that on the cross, at times we think it was despair, that really he felt God to be far from him. And that could be true. He could have felt that he was alone at that time. But as a pious Jew, he could have also been doing a prayer, because that's what Psalm 21 speaks about. It says, my God, why are you so far from me? Why are you so far from my cries? Why are you not delivering me? So that is our responsorial psalm, which is Psalm 21. And our second reading is from the letter of St. Paul to the Philippians, chapter 2, verse 6 to 11, where Paul says that Christ humbled himself. He was so humble that he even suffered death on the cross. Him being Lord of Lords and King of Kings, he allowed himself to go through that. But because of his humbleness, because of his humility, we are told, God raised him up and gave unto him the greatest name, so that at his name all knees will bow and all tongues shall confess. Philippians chapter 2, verse 6 to 11. And then we're not going to have a second gospel reading, but rather we're going to have the Passion of our Lord according to Luke. That is going to be the whole of chapter 22 to chapter 23, where we're going to be now seeing exactly the ordered account, as Luke calls it, of the passion or the suffering of Jesus. If you're going to be attending the 5 o'clock mass on Saturday and the 9 o'clock mass on Sunday, those are going to be acted out by our young children. But at our 7 o'clock mass, we're going to have a reading of that passion, where we see Christ, how he suffered and how he died. And that is meant to prepare us for that most holy week, the holy week of this time. We do best to enter into these celebrations already, to go with Jesus the final stretch, as it were, the final lap, as we look forward to our own salvation, as we look forward to our own dying but also rising to new life without sin, as Christ continues to liberate us. So that's what we'll be looking at this coming week. Well, I hope that you'll be able to join us, and we'll see you then. Have a great one and take care. Bye-bye.